welcome Sally Spielmann. She's actually a serial entrepreneur. I don't know what she will tell you this, but this is already her second company. So if she doesn't tell you about the first in the Q&A, you can also ask her about the second. I hope that's okay.
That's totally okay.
So,
thank you very much. So, thank you very much for having me. I'm really happy to be here. I was designing product packaging the whole day long, so in front of my computer, so I'm really happy to be a little bit out and see some friendly faces tonight. So I'd like to start with a little survey, and for this I'd like to ask you to all close your eyes. So nothing bad will happen, just close your eyes. And here comes the first question. Who of you menstruates? So who has a menstrual cycle? It doesn't matter whether you're currently menstruating. Okay, thank you. Second question, who of you suffers from PMS and menstrual pain and other cycle problems? Okay, thank you. And the third question to all of you, have you ever seen menstrual blood of someone else? So not your own, it might also be on TV. Okay, thank you. You can open your eyes again. So this little survey usually shows me two things. So the first one is that there's a big need for natural remedies against menstrual pain and PMS, because most of you who are menstruating, they also have some PMS or other problems. And secondly, there's also a big need for education and that we talk more openly about period and menstruation in society. So tonight, quite a lot of people have seen menstrual blood of someone else, so I hope we are getting in a good direction. Usually it's an indicator for the taboo around periods. So that's also the goal with Period, our company. So we are working on talking more openly about periods, and we are mainly creating and also manufacturing ourselves natural products and oils which help women against PMS and menstrual pain. So me personally, I've been suffering from really strong cramps and period pain for years, kind of 15 years or more. It was really bad and it got worse and worse. And I tried everything, so mainly painkillers. So I was taking at least 2 days full painkillers such that I could work. And in the end, I thought, okay, this has to stop. Like, I need to find another solution. So I tried all natural remedies which were on the market, but none of them worked for me. And I also talked to friends, and it was the same for them as well. So in the end, I ended up creating my own products. So I started with one product, which was just amazing because my period pain was gone over a couple of hours. And it was really life-changing for me. So I talked about it with friends, for example, also with Melanie, and she was one of the first testers of my first product as well. So in the end, I had friends of friends which wanted to buy the products or get the products because they weren't only working for myself, but also for friends of friends. So I ended up having an online shop. So at Period, we create these oils, so that's kind of 4 of them against menstrual pain, but also for female pleasure. And I've also created soft tampons, which you can reuse and which are 100% natural. So it's all around periods and recently also about menopause. So we are covering the whole cycle of a woman. And what is really important to us is that we follow a holistic approach, which means that we don't tell women, okay, these products are the solution for all their pain, but it's really important to me that we talk more openly about the underlying problems of period pain, because usually it's a problem in your life as well. Maybe you've got too much stress, maybe you're in a wrong relationship, or maybe the job is the wrong one. So whenever you start to think about your cycle, you might also find out that you might need to change something in your life as well, and not only taking our products. So if it's your own problem, you really know your customers best. So maybe if you yourself have a problem and you find a solution for yourself, this might be a very good starting point for a business, right? So it was the case for me because I was solving my own problem, and then I found out, okay, that's also a solution for a problem for my friends. So that's where I stand today with Period, and I'd like to take you on a little founder journey so far through my journey, what I've experienced so far within my second company, as Melanie said so far, and I've got 5 little pieces of advice for you. So what do you think, what have I studied initially? So Ralph, or what was his name? He should know, yeah?
Law.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the law library here at University of Zurich. I've spent many hours in there. So I initially did a bachelor and a master in law, and to be honest, actually after the first term I wanted to quit. I don't know how it was for you, but it was quite boring for me. It's a lot of reading, a lot of writing, and yeah, just very narrow-minded, so to speak. So instead of quitting law, I started another study, which was business administration. I did a bachelor there, and then I switched to computer science, did a master at University of Zurich in computer science. Then I switched over to ETH Zurich, where I started mathematics and statistics. But in parallel, I started my first startup, which is called Casus. It's a legal tech company. And then I just saw, okay, that's a little too much, kind of ETH together with the startup. So I stopped studying and fully focused on my first startup. So Casus, as I said, a legal tech company. I had a tech lead there, which was kind of like the perfect job for me because of my background. So it's on the intersection between law and computer science. And also, of course, you always need business as a background. And yeah, it was perfect for 2.5 years, but then my co-founder and I saw that we weren't a perfect team in the long run, so I decided to leave the startup and do something else. I didn't know what to do, so then my own journey came in with finding a solution for my period pain, and there Period was born. And what I would like to advise you is that whenever you think of doing something completely else compared to your studies, it's really worth it. So your education is not your destiny. Maybe you think your background is, I don't know, physics, and you want to do something with musicians or whatever. So yesterday I was speaking here as well, and there were a lot of musicians who wanted to start their own business, which is amazing. So it's so really worth it. If you want to do a 180-degree turn, have the courage and do it. Co-founding a startup is like marriage, so it really is. As I told you, after 2.5 years I left Casus, my first company. It was one of the biggest decisions so far in my life. It really wasn't easy. So yeah, if you're really looking for co-founders, I'd like to advise you that you talk very early about vision and values, because these are the parts which glue you together, your co-founders and yourself. But this is also kind of that part which might drive you apart in the long term if you're not aligned enough. So if you're looking maybe also within that course, it would be amazing to find your co-founders. So if you're looking for them, ask yourself and also talk with your co-founders, for example, about how do you want to lead, how do you see hierarchy within your team, what is your vision of yourself, but also of your startup, let's say in 5 years. And these are these kind of core basic questions which are so important. They might also evolve over time, that's totally fine, but it's really important that you stay in touch with each other. Yeah, so co-founding really is like marriage, and having a divorce really hurts. Maybe like a real divorce, I don't know yet, I haven't had another divorce. So really choose your co-founders wisely. I'm now working together with that guy on the picture, which is that guy behind the cam, which is my boyfriend, and some might say, ooh, tricky, but so far it's really working perfectly for us. And you never know whether it will work out or not, right? Because my first co-founder was a really good friend of mine. We were friends for more than 10 years and it didn't work out. So you really don't know. Just give it a try and see what happens. Forget your brain. So that might be interesting to hear here at the university, and I'm actually an academic myself. I just feel that you train your brain so much all the time, especially at university. And you tend to forget your body and your heart and your gut. Because what is most important, especially as an entrepreneur, is that you really feel what you want to do and where you want to go with your company. So maybe also in this course, you mainly learn how to set up your business with your brain. You learn about business plans, you learn about how you get your money, and that's totally okay, but I think there's something more which is needed. And I did it both ways. So first with Casus, I did it the traditional way. We got external investors, we had quarterly plans and deadlines and the whole business plan. And now with Period, I'm much more flowing. So every day and every month we decide what we want to focus on, and it works for me personally much better because I can focus on whatever is necessary in that moment and within that time frame. And what I also believe is that your body always tells you whether it's the right or the wrong decision. Sometimes you might tend to rationalize a decision. It makes sense to stay, or it makes sense to focus on that product, even though you feel that it might not be the perfect decision so far. So it's really interesting to also learn to listen to your body a little more. Freedom has a price. So I'd like to advise you to not sell your company too early to investors. Either don't do it at all, or at least don't do it too early. So with Casus, we took on investors quite early because we needed the money for the whole development of the app. But in retrospect, it might also have been a little too early. And now with Period, we are bootstrapping the whole company. So we are only investing our own money. And for me, it feels, I love the freedom. I love to not being responsible to someone else or kind of telling them why I've done something that way with their money. So it feels really much more free. And it's such an important decision which you should think about, quite intensely when and if it's necessary to take on external money. So the last one, you might ask yourself, okay, how do I actually start? So you probably made the first step in coming here and being interested in being an entrepreneur. And I'd say it's really courage over comfort, and then just jump. Because it will never be the right timing for you. You will never feel ready to found your first company because there's also so much uncertainty, right? You don't know whether you will get your money back. You don't know whether it will work out with your co-founders. You don't know whether your product will be a success or not. So it's really kind of a strength of an entrepreneur to withstand that uncertainty and make the best out of it and really try to focus on your heart and your gut as well, but also on your brain to decide what to do. So I'd really like to encourage you to have that courage and jump and make the first step because it's, the ride is worth it. So thank you very much. You've got a 20% discount code on period.ch if you'd like to try some products. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them now. And you can also contact me anytime at celine@period.ch. Many thanks.